All right, let's get right into the DJ Khaled album. God did. Oh shit, he got his
God
triggers.
did.
Yeah.
God did.
Jackson
Good
did.
job, son. Good job, son.
Jackson did.
Jackson did.
Hey.
So, all right, have a seat, sir.
All right, so for the God did album, I got through it a couple times, listened to it twice. But what did y'all think?
Shoot, good for you, because I only got through it like once.
Yeah, it's a lot of tracks. I'm surprised I actually got through it. I did skip a couple tracks, though, I ain't gonna lie. There's a
Um,
couple on there.
it's got some bangers. I like that Drizzy
I'm
one. That stay
oh
alive,
man, I
stay
can't stand
alive.
that one. That
Wanna
was
me to
the
die, wanna me to
that
try.
was the single. That was the single that they came out with before the album. But
Yeah, that
I
was the
mean,
intro, right?
yeah, obviously the standout track was God did. I mean, Jay's verse um on the feature was phenomenal.
Yeah, so let's get into
Um,
that since that's
Yeah,
like
let's
the
get it. Yeah,
let's get into that because all right, Jay's verse.
streets
Eddie,
is talking, man.
I'm gonna let you go on that one first. Go ahead, Eddie.
I mean, man, like he really came out and like reminded people like who Hove is and who Hove was, you know. Um, the references as he did with Meek, you know, basically letting people know that like us young hip hop entrepreneurs are here knocking on the door. Um, just the whole verse was just he really did outshine that whole song, you know. So I remember when I heard it when that album came out, I immediately texted Sean. Oh man, Jay went off. That's probably the only song on the album that I kept going back to. But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
So I'll say about the song. Jay definitely went off. I think we just kind of like as a culture forget about like Jay because he goes so long without releasing. So like we pretty much, unless somebody like a Pusher or a Drake is dropping with a Jay feature, we pretty much only get Jay on Khaled albums, right? He's been on every Khaled album for a while. I think like still it kind of reminds you that like there's still nobody like Jay
In terms of what though?
in terms of just style, just rhyming, just everything. Like Jay is just a one of one, and I think since he doesn't release as often, then I think we kind of forget, and then he comes back like this, and then reminds us, and like with the validity of everything he's saying, like we just kind of. I don't know. Just as a culture, I feel like we just kind of forget that Jay is that good. Like he's just kind of, looked at as like an entrepreneur mostly now, and like the business moves that he does. He's in the news way more for his business than he is like his rapping nowadays. And then when he comes and just gives us a verse like that, 4 minutes, and it's all everything that he's saying is fucking true. It's doubles, it's triples in there, and like there's just like the flow, and there's just no denying him. But I don't like I don't know where the greatest J verse of all time is coming from though, because everybody just immediately with the this is Jay's greatest verse of all time, and
No, no,
I'm like,
Uh,
have
no.
uh,
y'all heard like Streets is
uh,
Talking? Have y'all heard Watcher Part Two? Have y'all heard Diamonds Remix? Have y'all heard like a lot of the shit? Like, there's so many. Like the second verse on Public Service Announcement is fucking ridiculous, but I don't know about like I'm on the train of damn. This is like up there with like verse of the year, but everybody's saying this is Jay's best verse. I mean, it might be top 10, 15, but maybe 20. I don't know. What you think about it, Jason?
Jay's, um, I made some great points, man. My question is, does a nigga need 4 minutes to out rap Wayne?
Wayne did his thing.
Do you
I'll give
really
you
need
that.
4 minutes? Four
Nah,
minutes though?
I don't think he heard everybody. So I saw an interview and it was that Guru it was a Guru interview saying that Khaled sent Jay 5 different beats. and that just so happened to be the one that Jay picked. I don't think that those other verses were laid and given to Jay so he could try to outdo him. They all did their thing too. That's one of my favorite Wayne verses in recent memory. Wayne did his thing, but
So
I
so
don't
you
think
think Jay-Z, you think Jay-Z sent it, you think Jay-Z did the 4 minutes, just ripped it and then added everyone else on?
no. Khaled added everybody else. I think Khaled added everybody else. I think they
Yeah, yeah,
all
that's
recorded
that's what
separately.
I
Yeah,
meant.
yeah, yeah. I think they all recorded separately.
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't matter. Jay's outperformed Wayne on so many tracks though. Look at Mr. Carter. Look at Hello Brooklyn. Like they've already been on tracks together. I don't think there's that much of a competition there with each other.
The thing about Jay that's funny to me though, like I feel like everything that he gets on at this point in time is to get things off his chest. Like
Yeah,
things that have been kind of boiling him up for like a cool minute. And I think he's very strategic on what he jumps on. And it's like to let the naysayers, the people that are talking, to let them know, like, this is what the real truth is. But I mean, you said like, I mean, yeah, he is one on one, but I do look at a few other rappers when they jump on a track that I'm like, oh damn, like, like Andre,
yeah.
I don't, I
Another
don't,
one
I
on
don't,
one.
I don't put this verse on that high of a pedestal. I mean, it's Jay, like you said, he's a billionaire, and that's why I think people kind of look at, this verse like that. It's like, oh, he jumped on this track, and he doesn't even really need to. Like for him, there's nothing to prove. But I think now he just kind of jumps on tracks to kind of like shut up the naysayers, and
Yeah,
so.
just remind everybody.
Mhm.
That's what I kind of get from it too, because like it feels like all of the content has been like brewing in Jay's mind, or like however he creates. Like this verse is like years in the making. Like he's been crafting this verse,
Mhm.
and then this is just his opportunity to let it all out because he's speaking on just straight facts with his life recently and like the money and everything and all the business moves and stuff going on and all the things like with Meek and stuff. I feel like this is stuff that's just been like brewing, and he's just has so much time to craft this one verse, and then he just lets it all out in the
But I
4 minutes.
got I got a question for Jason, because he said, did he really need 4 minutes? Is that something that is kind of offsetting you, or like what are you referencing towards that? Like,
it was just more of like
because it
I
was
don't
a
know. I
long
feel
verse.
like
You're right.
it was, and it was like it could have just been its own song. And I'm like, why else would you want to put that long of a verse on with the roster of people that's like on this song? Like, I feel like I don't know if that was Khaled's.
Is it because it's Jay, or is it because Wayne went in front of him? Because I see a lot of people
I
like
think
trying to
it's
compare the two, but look at like I don't know, like nobody's talking about Ross. Did Wayne have to do what he did to outperform Ross? No.
right, but but
Yeah, but no
it's
one's ever
like
looked at Ross like that.
Yeah,
no, they
exactly.
haven't.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
Ross didn't. Ross hasn't tried to put himself there. Um.
Yeah,
But I feel like because it was Wayne, and because I feel like with Hove, it's like
competition.
this like nah, I feel like Hove wants all of his verses to be it's like art, like a really fine, pristine
Yeah,
piece of art. So
masterpiece.
that's why he's yeah, a masterpiece. So and he's gonna break the rules while he does it. You know what I mean? So that's why it was 4 minutes and like usually, yeah, when Hove shows up, he's gonna give you something like a nice long verse. He's gonna give you some game. And like Eddie said, now when I think about it, now she brought that up, like, yeah, it does sound like he wanted to get a lot off his chest and really talk to people that's been doubting him and really put people on game. Like, nah, like who's who's the dude that's I just felt like it could have been its own thing. That's really what I want to say. Like,
Yeah,
but I feel like for competitive purposes, I feel like that's why it was on there, so he could also show like his superiorness to everybody else. And I feel like that's why it's like this long hoe verse. Like, yeah, y'all
yeah.
nice, but the
Like I'm gonna
king
do
is
this
here
on a
type
track
shit.
with Ross and Wayne, people who y'all think are up there
Yeah,
with me, and
Hey,
I'm gonna show y'all that they're
yeah.
not.
hey, I will say
I
this.
mean,
I will say this.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
felt like I've always looked at Jay as like, as great as he is, I felt like no matter, I mean, a lot of people call him the GOAT and stuff like that, but I've always felt like no matter what he does, I feel like he always needs to prove himself, you know.
Exactly,
um like
exactly,
literally, like he
exactly.
always has the sense of like, I think he's always have lived in the shadows of like when it was at the beginning with, Pac and Big, and then, later on in his career, like even Wayne, at Wayne was at the peak of his like career. I felt like with Nas as well, a lot of people say Nas,
Yeah,
a lot of
he's
people say
always had
Nas
the
ripped him,
yeah.
and like, and so I've always felt like Jay, with all his projects, with a lot of his features, like he's always felt the need to prove to people like I am that guy, I am the
Yeah,
greatest. Because in his mind, he probably does
Yeah,
think he's the greatest, which is what he
that's a
well,
good
well
point.
deserved to be. So
Yeah, that's a
I,
good
I
point.
also look at this verse as like that.
I
Yeah, that's a
definitely
good point
agree,
because
Eddie.
I feel like he's been the measuring stick for so long. So like even all like you said, all the way back with like Big Pac X in the '90s, and then if you look at the 2000s, like the Eminem verse, it's like he's always been kind of the measuring stick. So he's kind of like always fighting back. Like, look, I am him. Like, what do I need? Like, why do I have to continue to prove to y'all that I am him? And everybody is like, he's the measuring stick. So like when somebody is coming up like Wayne and trying to take that best rapper alive, you automatically get compared to Jay, or you get like the Eminem verse, you get compared to Jay. So
Yeah.
that's a good
When he
point, Eddie.
showed up,
I
when he
agree.
showed up on Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe and had the flex on Kendrick
Mm,
with the
Yeah,
mm,
presidential pardon in. Oh wait, like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
and
like
then
it's like almost it's like a responsibility for him to show up and be like, yeah, you nice, but I'm the bar. And I
yeah,
feel like part of me was like, all right, well, if you the bar, why couldn't you do all of this with the same amount of space that these other guys have? You know what I mean? And and maybe that's just like the rapper in me that wants to see that. You know what I mean? Like, let me see you make the same type of masterpiece with the same ingredients as everyone else. Like, why you get to let your shit cook for longer? You know? But
because
then at the same time,
he's older
it's
though,
Hove. But then at the
but
same time, it's Hove.
he's a lot older now. Like I get what you're saying, but just feel like he's so far along in his career. He's like what 52 years old, 53 years old. Like
Exactly.
he was the one doing the album every year for 10 summers straight. Like he was cooking,
Exactly.
early in his career. But like you said, like now it's a little bit more. I see what you're saying. Like you come around every year or every couple years, we hear a verse, But I mean, it's Jay. We know he could
It's
do that.
Jay.
We know he could do it every year.
And don't get me wrong, the verses be pristine. Like these verses be crazy. Like it's still a whole verse. He's still talking about shit that nobody's really talking about or
They
is
can't.
gonna talk about for a
They can't
while.
because they haven't done it. He's the only one that's done the shit
Yeah,
that he's talking about.
yeah. So I mean, like when I looked on Twitter and I see shit like people were saying like, oh, it's getting repetitive. Like how much longer are you gonna keep telling us you sold dope and got away with it? Like
I mean, that's
some
rap.
people were saying,
Period.
you know what I mean? Like I was looking at that too. I'm just saying what I've been
Yeah,
seeing. Like
yeah,
some people was like, all right, we like a lot of people was just kind of like the consensus of people that would have anything to say is like, all right, we get it. Like
yeah. That it's
you
people that
rich
don't
off
like the braggadocious raps. I mean, I get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. But I mean, I think it's a verse of the year candidate. I don't know. I don't think it's a all time J verse candidate though. It's great, but like
You got
even what's
Jake. It's
free?
up there. Which one you
What's
like
free?
better? Hey, which one you like better? J. Cole's on Benny the Butcher's or Jay's?
See, that's up for debate. That's a good comparison because I look at those two as like the top verses of the year. That's a very good
Because in that
comparison.
song, what's funny? In that song, J. Cole, it's kind of like the same context. J. Cole in that verse was also talking to his naysayers in
Yeah,
that verse as well. So I like the like in the terms of subject matter.
yeah.
Um, but yeah.
Can we compare it to like a control verse from Kendrick? What Jay does now, where he comes with these long verses and just kind of reminds everybody, like I'm setting the bar.
I mean, yeah, I think you can.
I don't know about control.
That's just
I
a
get what
thought
you're
that
Um,
saying
just
though.
popped in my
I
head
get what
right
you're saying
now.
though.
But like that
but I
control
get
verse was
nah.
like, this is the bar now. I'm the one. and y'all got to keep up with me. And I feel like that's what Jay does
Yeah,
every couple
It
years. Like,
was that
hey,
type of moment.
it's
It
me.
was
yeah.
This is it's still
Kendrick has
me.
only done that. The Kendrick has only done that what, like once, right?
I mean, I feel like
the heart.
look
He did it with the heart. You know
look
what I
at
mean?
yeah,
Oh,
Every
look at the
time he do
heart,
the
but
heart,
even look at smoking on your top five tonight. He came back
okay,
and
yeah,
with
that's true. Yeah,
and like, hey, I'm here.
yeah, he
You
did
know,
do that with Baby Keem's.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
with
true.
family
That's true.
ties, like yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here. So I mean, it's the competitive nature in hip hop. Nothing wrong with it. What y'all think about the rest of the album? Can we talk about Jada Kiss's interlude?
man,
Because
I'm not
that
gonna
shit
lie.
goes
like
crazy. That shit
that
go
shit was. I
crazy.
fucks with that shit.
That shit goes crazy. I
I
love
really
that.
like what he did with this album.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I don't want to keep changing subjects because if we talk about every song on here, it'll get too
Yeah,
long. But use this gospel. All of us have heard the original version, right?
yeah,
The original version is better to me. What do y'all feel about that?
I agree. I completely agree.
With Clips and Kenny G?
But I will. But the Use This Gospel on this album
It's
was
good.
really
No,
good
yeah,
too. It's
it's
really
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's great. No, I agree. The production and M's verse is crazy. He goes crazy on it. I like the content of M's verse is different from what we usually see
I
from M.
love Use This Gospel, man, as like a whole. I'm actually
Yeah,
glad that there's two versions now because like,
right.
like that's awesome. That's like a great
For real.
song.
Yeah, it is such a
I'm
good
not I
song.
don't even want to go to the point where I'm comparing both because I just appreciate that there's both
Each
that we
individual
have both.
one. I feel it. I feel it. I
Yeah.
agree. But yeah, like
I
that.
love Go
Listening
ahead.
to it
Oh, go
made
ahead.
me go back and listen to the old version. I'm just like, man, it's low key, like it's becoming kind of like a personal classic for me. The original one,
Oh, dude,
and this
100%.
one, yeah, this one is great too. Like I played this back a couple times for sure. It's great.
The Juice World interlude I liked a lot too.
Mm.
I like
That was
Juice World
cool.
interlude.
Yeah,
That was
it's
cool.
I was scared. I was scared because like I thought when he came out the album and said, "Oh, featuring Juice World," a lot of people are thinking like, "Oh, it's the Juice World interlude. It's gonna be like something like that short. It's an interlude. What an interlude
yeah,
is." But it definitely exceeded my expectations.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, let, the intro is cool, and then we get to God did, and then we get to use this gospel, and then right after use this gospel, the first thing we hear after that is Future talking about bisexual bitches. Was that weird to y'all too, or like it's an
To be
album
honest, I
called
don't
God
remember
did?
that. I don't
Yeah,
remember that.
okay, because I didn't know
I
if
don't
it was
remember that.
just me or not, but like I'm listening to God did the album, and then the
It
first
was some
couple
shit that
songs
threw me
is
off.
like, yeah, yeah,
Future
it just
period threw me off. Like
Yeah, Juice. Yeah,
Future is
I was
cool.
like,
I
oh
mean, the song, yeah, no, the song is cool to me, but like I just felt like that threw me off.
yeah, nah. It definitely like Future definitely like the shit was called God did and Future did his best. I will say that. Like he did his best and
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, we burning stage because we toxic. You feel me? Like
yeah,
I was like, well played, Future, well played. You know what I'm saying? Like that's effort. But
yeah. Nah, the album overall was okay. It's another DJ Khaled project.
it's
It's a DJ Khaled
as
project.
much as we were talking like great things about the album with Jay and uh, uses gospel, it still is an average album.
Yeah, I mean, it has
It
its high
really is.
spots. Khaled, I think Major Key was probably the last really good one for me, at least.
yeah,
Um, it's still, I mean, it's cool to see him be able to get all these people on the album, but
yeah.
Jason, I have a
you
question.
know,
See, you're in the music business. I've always wondered, as a guy, because like these labels give you money to go get
Uh-huh.
other artists. Like how much?
Right.
Like how does Khaled make money when he spends all this money with all these different artists? So, because
I don't
like to
think
me,
he's
he
paying
doesn't do
for it.
anything, or like what does he do?
I
How like
honestly, I don't think he's paying for it. I think Khaled is that good
Right.
of a guy to where they're doing it just because it's Khaled, off of Khaled, because he's been in the game for so long.
I'm a
He's
Khaled
done.
hater, dog. I can't
Right.
stand him, bro.
Right.
I cannot stand
I
It's
don't.
Khaled, bro.
Yeah,
he's
Khaled is
yeah.
just Khaled to me as far as music. But I know like his background and stuff, especially like in the DJ scene and stuff. He's made so many like good
I
connections.
just think
I
the
feel like
last
they're
time
doing it
he
for
was
free.
I just feel like the last time he was really, really being like DJ producer, engineer, whatever it may be, was in his Terror Squad days. I feel ever since then he just grabs a whole bunch of people, and I mean, and then it's like, oh, it's DJ Khaled. I'm like, no, man, like
Yeah,
I just feel like there's so many other artists that need to
there.
get their shine, you know?
Where
Yeah,
where
there.
else are you gonna get that though? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I know it's a mixtape. It's a mixtape.
it's a
he
glorified mixtape for sure.
he throws some shit together. I'll give you that.
No,
Like
he does. He really does.
you know
Yeah.
what I
Mm.
mean? And I don't know. Like Sean, like would you say like his like because you'll hear about a lot of dudes like they'll charge niggas, but what they're really doing is they're charging their label. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So their label will pay them, and
yeah,
then
he got the
maybe
budget.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
label will give him a budget, and then he pays out of that. Like so, it's none of it's out of pocket, kinda, and then whatever deal he got. But I'm pretty sure he's owning everything. And I mean, it's probably to the point now where if you get a Khaled feature, like you kind of set, like
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
platform now for sure for a lot of people. I feel like he's not really getting charged for this stuff, and that's not. I don't think it's a bad
oh
thing.
god,
I
yeah,
think I think he's just going off the strength of the relationship that he's worked hard, to make. I know, like Jay said, he doesn't charge for verses, except for like
Yeah,
maybe
because
once or twice.
what's
But
50 grand to him, you know?
yeah, I mean, even 250 if that's his feature. But like, look at people like Rick Ross or Wayne. Like they've done so much business with Khaled. Like I'm sure he
right,
returns the favor in some way.
yeah. I know the business has got to be good, especially after that whole ordeal he got into with Baby. You know what I mean? Where so I'm sure like if you fucking with Khaled, he's doing right by you.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna make it
And
right. Even if he's not paying up front, he's paying that back in some sort of way. Or, he's just that good of a dude to where they have a good relationship with him.
they probably get it back when he go on tour with the album.
Yeah, yeah. That for
You know what I mean?
sure. Yeah.
You got me
But yeah,
thinking. You know what? Nah, I think he pays him up front. I think he pays him for the verse up front, and then he just recoups on everything on the back end.
it's possible. I mean,
That might be the smartest play for him, because then
yeah.
it's like, oh, I fuck with Khaled. I did it for this. You know what I mean? Khaled's probably like, I'm still gonna pay you, still gonna make sure you get this, but they
Yeah,
the homies like, yeah, for sure.
yeah, he
I
find
don't
a way
see
to make it
Ross
happen.
charging Khaled.
Yeah, certain people. I feel you. Either way, I mean, that's neither here nor there anyway. But yeah, I mean, the album it's an average album. I feel like he should probably I don't know, take his time next time. I don't know. I mean, he
Yeah.
takes his time here, but some of it is just I don't know, maybe too much. Maybe we just got too used to Khaled projects. Maybe that's it. But like
He's been
major,
around for a minute, bro.
yeah, yeah. And these albums, I mean, what is it, like every 2 years or so? These
Mhm.
Khaled drops an album, but hey, gotta get it.
It's like this. And you know what? I'll be honest, like I don't check for Khaled super, like he's always around. So it's like, he's not someone where I'm like, oh, the new Khaled came out. Like, I'll just keep it a bean. But I really enjoyed this album. But also when looking at the videos, like he's sticking to that hip hop format, like the videos with the
Yeah,
cameos and the liquor cameos
yeah,
and the chicks and the slow-mos. Like he's not like he's still sticking to that same shit. Like, and it just kind of gave me that what is it, man? It's a era that he's preserving
yeah. It's a nostalgic
and
kind
like
of feel.
like repolishing. He keeps repolishing it up. Like I'm not letting go of this. This is what it is because everyone else's videos got bullet holes in the windows, like in the camera lens, and
Yeah, nah,
fucking the shit's flipping over, and you over here, and he's still sticking to the same shit I used to watch on late night BET type shit. Like,
you can't question his love for hip hop.
yeah,